it's me Simi and welcome to another exciting episode of La Maison L'Oreal Paris, your one stop for everything beauty. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit on the notification bell so that you are notified and updated every time we upload a new video. And now that we've reached the final month of the year, that means parties, and in fact lots of parties, which also means lots of makeup looks. And when I say party makeup look, I do not necessarily mean that you have to cake up your face. You can look extremely glamorous without actually overdoing your makeup, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing in today's video. And to help us out, I'm going to be calling Roshni Bhatia. So even if you're a beginner at makeup or a pro at makeup, her tips are going to be extremely helpful. So without wasting any more time, let's call Roshni. Hi Roshni, how are you doing? Welcome back to our channel.
Hi Simi, it's so good to be back.
So today, you know what, I'm gonna leave it up to you. You decide and tell me what are we doing today.
Wow, that's my favorite kind of makeup, when I just get to do whatever I want to. Well, today I want to do an intimate party makeup look, and guess what, this look falls under the sheer makeup trend, which has really been the trend for 2020, and it's one of my personal favorites. So yeah, let's get into it.
It's actually one of my personal favorites too. It's been trending all through 2020 and I'm really excited to actually try it out with you. So let's get started.
It's really important to cleanse, moisturize and use a primer before using any kind of base, because that's when you're going to be able to make the maximum out of your makeup.
Also, now while we're at this topic of prepping your skin, another very big myth that people actually assume that if you've moisturized your face, you can skip on a primer, but that's not the case. You have to moisturize as well as prime your skin if you're starting with makeup, because primer actually fills up your pores. It sort of like smoothens out the texture, gives you a nice base to begin your makeup on, and also your makeup sort of holds much longer if you have a good primer underneath your makeup. And now that we're done with our skin prep, we're already moisturized and primed our skin. Let's move on to the first step, which is using a foundation. So today I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Paris Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation, and I'm in the shade 150.
Even I'm in the same color.
Okay, so I'm just going to take like one pump of this and I'm going to start applying it directly with my blender. Also, Roshni, when I started out with makeup, like I used to match the foundation on my wrist and I never really bothered to check it on my face, and hence I would always get a little bit of like shade mismatch every time I would buy a foundation.
Same man, I used to wear my mom's foundation and I would never bother about matching it or never see if it's actually looking cakey. But then over the years I've realized that it's best to match, to wait for your foundation to set in and sort of match it on your jawline and then see if it really matches your skin and blends seamlessly. And of course it's really important to not forget the neck, because otherwise you're going to look like a different face and a different colored neck, which is not very pleasing.
Also, Roshni, I love how easy it is to blend this foundation.
Oh, this is absolutely my go-to foundation. It's like the easiest foundation to blend. It literally takes me 20 seconds to seamlessly blend it into my skin and I'm done.
And I totally agree with you on that, because even I'm done.
So next is concealer, and I'm going to be wearing the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Full Wear Concealer, and I'm in the shade 312 Amber. This actually really matches the color of my foundation exactly, so I don't really have to use a lot of it. But if I feel that I need a little bit more coverage, like this is the area where I feel that I have darkness around my mouth, because this is also the area where I tend to lose foundation. And if I have any other spot, because this is like a really full coverage concealer but equally easy to blend and looks really natural, and that's what I love about it.
So Roshni, while we're concealing, I have this little game planned out for us.
What? I'm really scared of your game, Simi. They're very...
You don't really have to be nervous or scared. It's actually a fun game. So I'm going to be asking you a question, and based on our knowledge of each other, we're just going to have to answer it, okay?
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Okay, so the first question, here it goes. Who do you think is more likely to wear makeup to the gym? You or me?
You.
No.
I mean, if I'm having like a bad skin day, or like if I have like a pimple to hide, then maybe I'll just put a little bit of concealer, because that makes me uncomfortable. But yeah, otherwise I wouldn't wear makeup to skin. How about you?
So I think just a little bit of concealer and that's about it, and we call it like the gym makeup look, right? And I think with that, I'm done with my concealer as well.
Let's move on to the eyeshadow, and for that I'll be using the L'Oreal Paris Le Petite palette in the shade Maximalist.
So talking about eyeshadows, Roshni, I was thinking of doing ombre eyeshadow look because that's been trending a lot this year. What do you think?
I absolutely love it. And it's really easy to create with this eyeshadow palette. In fact, I'm going to be using the first 3 colors, as you can see. The trick is to start with the lightest color and then move on to the dark and then the darkest in the end. Well, it sounds complicated, but it's really easy, and especially with this eyeshadow palette because the eyeshadows are really easy to blend. It creates a beautiful ombre effect, and it's very natural and perfect for a nude, natural, intimate party look.
You know what, I'm gonna follow your lead, and I'm gonna use the same 3 shades that you're gonna be using today. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with this shade right here, which is the first one, this pearly color right here, and I'm gonna start applying that on the inner corners of my eye. So basically I'm just tapping this color all over my eyelid.
And then moving on to the next shade. This is slightly darker than this. It's a really beautiful peachy pink color, and it's a perfect color to be used all over your lid. And you can see immediately that it gives this, slight pop of color, but nothing too poppy. And then moving on to the slightly darker orange, I'm going to carefully place it at the outer corner of my eyes, creating a V. And then blending it with a slightly fluffy brush like this.
Okay, so Roshni, while we're doing our eyes, do you want to play another round of who's more likely to?
Oh, I'd love to, but this time I'll be the one asking question, huh?
Okay, go ahead, shoot.
Before I ask the question, I'm going to take these 2 colors and sort of mix them and then place it under my lower lash line to make it slightly deeper. As you can see, it gives a slight more definition, because since we've only been using lighter colors, this is the only color which is going to define my eyes slightly, and same on the other eye. Okay, now time for some question. So who's more likely to sleep with makeup on?
I think that would be me. Although I used to do that quite a lot, but I have actually stopped doing that, and I've been very careful about my nighttime routines now. So I very carefully take off my makeup using 2-step cleansing routine, and then I do my entire skincare routine before I hit the bed. So that used to happen, but not anymore.
Back in the day, it was not at all an issue that, so what, we slept with makeup on. But then once you hit your 30s and beyond, you realize the importance of, actually much before that, you realize the importance of good skin and skincare and making sure that you cleanse your skin before sleeping. And the first thing you do when you wake up is also you cleanse your skin. And yeah, that's when you can't just risk sleeping with makeup on. That's a big no-no even for me.
And inner corners, and I'm done too.
And I'm done. So since this eye makeup look is all about keeping it simple, we are going to be skip using an eyeliner, but we're definitely going to be using lots and lots of mascara, which is, and I'm using one of my favorite mascaras, which is the L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. Can't say enough good things about this product. This has been my go-to mascara ever since I stumbled upon it. As you can see, the hourglass shape of the bristle is what makes your lashes look really fluttery, and you don't really need to use a lot of this product. Just one dip into the bottle and you have enough product for both your eyelashes, and it is something which is going to last you all day long, or say all night long in this case.
And yeah, so this mascara is just gonna help us accentuate the eye look that we've created. It'll keep it very simple and glamorous. And another thing that I really love about this product is that it's got rose oil, it's got castor oil, it's also got cornflower extracts, and hence there is no clumping with this product whatsoever. And another thing, when I was a kid, I used to always do this with my mascara to avoid clumping, and later I got to know that that's actually not the right way to do
The only thing that you're doing is you're adding air into the bottle when you do that. But with this mascara, since you mentioned it has all these great oils, it is actually one of my favorite mascaras to even top up a mascara. You know, once you wear a mascara, how it's really difficult to sort of touch up your mascara because, you know, your lashes look really clumpy. With this one, it doesn't happen. You can really touch up this mascara and it's going to look as fresh like the way you first put it.
So I'm gonna start applying it from the roots and wiggle my way to the ends of my lashes. And I love how just with one coat you get enough length and volume and drama that you're looking for.
Okay, so now time for blush, and I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Paris La Bar blush in the shade Play With Me number 10. And I love that it's super natural and goes perfectly with the makeup look. And of course it's super blendable, so don't have to really work hard in blending it.
I'm using the same shade Roshni, and a blush is just gonna bring the entire look to life because I feel like the makeup look that we've created is quite subdued and we need to add a bit of color to our face. So what do you think about this 80s trend making a comeback on the blush?
Oh, I anyway have been using my blush a little bit on my crease just to, you know, sort of tie up the look altogether. So it's actually a take on the 80s trend, but it's a great idea because, you know, it sort of gives that wholesome finish to your entire makeup look. In fact, I also use my blush a little bit on my contours because I don't like it when I see different colors on my skin, and a blush is a really good thing to sort of tie a look whole together.
So I've never personally tried it, but I'm gonna give it a try right now. But I'm gonna keep it like very subtle. So I'm sort of just like blending everything together and sort of merging it with my eyeshadow, like the outer corners of it.
It gives a very exotic and immediately makes you look very party without really putting a lot of effort.
Okay, so with that, Roshni, let's play another round of who's more likely to. What do you think? Who's more likely to do away with a lipstick, you or me?
I think you, because you love wearing lip balms and lip tints, but I cannot do without lipstick because if I was given one product to live with for the rest of my life, one makeup product, then I had to be lipstick because like I said, I can put it on my lips, I can put it on my eyes, I can put it on my cheeks, I can use it to contour my face. So lipstick is something that I can't do away with. And of course on my lips. So yeah, I think I cannot do without lipstick.
You've counted out so many, you know, like pros of a lipstick. I feel like even I should like start wearing lipstick as much. But yeah, I mean, what you said is right. I could actually do away with the lipstick. Like I could just like live with a lip balm or a lip tint, and that's fine with me, you know. But anyway, with that, I'm done with my blush, Roshni. Let's move on to the next step.
Yeah.
So speaking of lipsticks, Roshni, let's move on to our lips. And for that, I have the Roots Signature Liquid Matte Lipsticks by L'Oreal Paris. And I'm thinking of using the shade 103 I Enjoy. It's a very deep burgundy sort of a color. But let's do like an ombre lips.
That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be using two colors. This is the number 116, which I absolutely love. It's called I Explore. But I'm also going to be adding the number 139 it's called Adored in the middle, just to give that ombre effect. But first I'm going to start with the nude brown on the outer corner of my lips.
Okay, so I'm going to do the same. I'm going to be mixing I Explore and I Enjoy.
Again, the great things about these lipsticks is the tip, because you don't need a lip liner, because someone like me cannot do without a lip liner. I love to give a certain shape to my lips before I start filling it, but with these lipsticks, they have been my go-to. This lipstick has been my go-to lipstick for about a year now. I wear this color literally every day and I still don't get enough of it because it's super comfortable to wear, really lasts you long, and it just is a perfect color. And after about one coat on the outside, I'm going to fill it with this slightly orangish or like a peachish color in the middle, going with the theme of the makeup. And as you can see, that gives like a pop of color, a subtle pop of color.
Great. So I've had my one coat of I Enjoy, which is this burgundy color, And now to just like sort of soften it up, I'm going to be using I Explore, which is this nice soft nude color, and I'm going to apply it right on the center of my lid. So that is it, Roshni. I love the entire look, how it turned out. I love the pop of color on our cheeks and on our lids. This is actually a very beautiful party look.
I absolutely love it too. I love how the colors have blended so seamlessly. And I'm really looking forward to wearing this party makeup look for an at-home Zoom party, or maybe like an intimate party at home with my family.
So thank you so much, Roshni, for being here and sharing all these tips. I'm sure our viewers loved it, and I really love the look that I'm wearing right now.
It's always a pleasure, Simi. Thank you for having me. I'm going to see you soon.
Bye! And wrapping up for today, I hope you enjoyed the makeup look that we've created. All of the products that we've used are mentioned in the description box below as usual. And before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit on the notification bell so that you are notified and updated every time we upload a new video on La Maison L'Oréal Paris. And that's it. Signing off for now. I'll see you next time. Bye!